Hey everyone, I'm Charlotte and welcome back to episode 14, Visualization through a single panel. I know most of these videos are really technical, but at the same time I repeat so much. But at the end of the day, I hope that there is some form of value that you take through the course of these videos. And honestly, this is just for fun and yes. Coming to the point of this video, right? I'll be really frank here and tell you that this topic is something that I'm yet to fully figure out. And it's because of the fact that I was more focused on working on portraits over panels like the one you see on screen right now for the 100-day challenge. Even though I was really intentional about visual storytelling through a single panel in the beginning of last year, at this point, that intentional mindset is not really there. But coming back to what's happening on screen. So this panel is a tour bus or something of that sort with a cityscape behind it. The point of this panel itself was to represent the story of the city and blur the tourists so that you see that there's a lot more of a story going on in the city, even though tourists are supposedly more exciting, right? And so it's a very complex idea, and I'm not sure how it's executed. They look like blobs from here, but that was the concept behind that. And in a way, shots like these, which are drawn, are truly representational of the reference because I do get inspired by the reference a lot when drawing these pieces, and they remind me of movie shots. Although in a singular scene you don't understand the story, if you are able to break it down, it's really beautiful. And in that sense, I would like to move on to this piece, which is basically a historical site. I think you saw the reference on the top left. Yes, it's still there. I didn't do justice to this piece. It's very chaotic. But as you know, the novel has themes of history to it, and adding this all in a monochromatic scheme, that is using the same color palette for the whole of the scene without much contrast, was to bring about this aspect of mystery. Although you may look at me and think, how does that work? Because obviously I'm not highlighting anything in this piece. But here's the deal. You as the viewer get to decide what the mystery is. Is the mystery the two women discussing? Or is the mystery the statue? Or what's in the background? What is the real mystery here? And that is up to you to figure it out. In that sense, my point being, aspect ratios, meaning the amount of space that you use for your drawing, makes a drastic difference to the story itself, makes a drastic difference to what you can infer from it. And that's why these pieces are far more creative than simply portraits. Right now, what you see is a ceiling, right? Which is being projected with the light from the sun, right? And so there's more value and depth to it. In a sense, I think what I'm trying to say through this piece is look up and you'll see beautiful things ahead. Because it's true. Especially if you take like Renaissance pieces, you look up at the ceilings and wow, there's just art. And it's so representational. But we forget to look up sometimes because we're so absorbed by what's in our surroundings. But this piece was so beautiful. Again, it was way far more influenced than the reference than you think. And it provides such a beautiful story. So I think what I'm trying to say here is when you see references like these, take a moment to observe it. See why you're so captivated by it. Think of the story behind it. It's silly. As a non-creative, it might sound even sillier, but if you're into art or if you just like doing this for fun, just take a minute to visualize the story, because I'm starting to realize that creative aspects like those of observation and vivid imagination is truly what made a difference to the art that I create today. It has so much meaning and value intrinsically because of all these factors. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you'll try out this aspect ratio. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.